ownership of the restaurants. This is a bit of a difficult topic. So in general, it's not going to be actual ownership. On paper, the restaurants will be owned by the government. So anybody that, in quote, runs the restaurant is replaceable for whatever reason that may be, an activity or whatever. Generally, obviously, that's more of a last resort thing, I'd hope. A koi, which is down here. It's not in yet, but it's gonna be in soon TM. Yeah, also, we don't even need to do that. Like, I don't want to put an RP character in, because personally, I just don't want that to be a thing, because then you have, in quotes, a character that you'll want to run to or talk to get shit done again, and I feel like we've done it in 3.0, we don't need to do that again. So a thing I'll probably do is a one-time character or something that I'll literally delete afterwards, such as says, hey, you've been chosen to co-run this restaurant. Yeah, there will be franchise managers, yes. Here you go, don't fuck it up, or the government will take care of you, replace you, whatever. The general idea is each of these restaurants is going to have 2 or maybe 3 managers. And decision-making wise, they'll be evened out. So if you have 2 owners, it's a 50-50. If you have 3 owners, it's 33, right? But what I want there to be is like, for public, I'm probably just gonna keep it how it is right now. Although I don't fully know yet. I might have to talk to. Obviously, we do a lot of 3D changes, which are like already on public. So maybe I'll talk to the public staff team, and just have them give out the restaurants to somebody they trust on public to run them. Who runs the? I know there is somebody for Hydra that runs a stall, and Raccoon is active with it, but he doesn't actually own it. Who actually owns it? Jasper, okay. Is Jasper actually running it, or is Raccoon running it? Raccoon. Raccoon only recently. Okay. Raccoon is the face. Jasper still runs a little bit ahead. So probably for easier sake, I'll give Jasper priority. And if Jasper says he doesn't want to do it, it'll be Raccoon. Pretty much. As one of the half for Hornies. They can figure that out themselves. Jasper gets asked, and if Jasper says no, then it'll be Raccoon. And if Raccoon says no, then we're in trouble. In general, what I want to avoid is like, or in general, what my goal is, I want it to be focused on the people that actually ran the stalls. That's why the ownership of this is going to be Jasper/Raccoon instead of like Flippy. And then the other half would be KC, because they're also in Mirror Park, which would be nice for them. They don't have it far. But I heard they might want to run Koi instead as one of the half instead of Hornies. Yes, I heard a lot of KC wants to team up with ADMC. That's what I heard too. I think Luna wanted to message me about it last night, and then I was sleeping and didn't respond anymore. The other active stall that I know is Besties. Who actually owns the Besties stall? This is currently a map-free zone. Mike and Cassie. So it would be, you'd have Besties, as in Mike, run half of Up and Atom, because they've already been doing RP with it. So it just makes sense. It's just Mike. Okay. Besties, as in Mike, and his staff gets to run half of Up and Atoms. And then I guess Koi will do Casey. I mean, it doesn't have to match, right? It doesn't have to match as to what they did in their stall. It doesn't really matter, right? It really doesn't matter. It's just that I know Hydra people have been doing RP with Hornies already, and Besties people have already been doing RP with Up and Atom. So it doesn't really make sense to split them up or give them something else. They would make the restaurant in there, like, there would be mechanics to make food. So we have KC, Koi, Besties, Up and Atom, Hydra on paper. I'm just doing this for simplicity's sake, because I'm not going to remember all the names. Hornies. That leaves room for the secondary owners. I think it would be funny if Denzel was the second co-owner for Up and Atom. I think it would be really funny. See, so the issue is, while I agree with what you're saying, is we have a lot of stall owners, and a lot of them run shops. I don't want to disadvantage anyone. I want this to be, or it would be better for Denzel. So the thing is, like I said, these managers are 50-50, right? So it's not that one has more power over the other. So it's kind of a figure it out situation. It's like the issue with not giving it to some stalls, it's hard to actually gauge what do you consider active and what not. It's difficult. Where do you draw the line? Because I don't want to deal with any drama of this. Is my general POV. Obviously, KC Hydra Besties are the active ones, which is why they each get one and aren't getting put into the same. Putting two of the super active ones into the same one isn't really good, in my opinion. The thing is, like, I'd rather have like one group that's super active in each, and then have all the other less active ones fill, than have two active ones in one, because then you have the issue that one of the other, or maybe two of the other restaurants would never open. FC, I guess you could do that. I could tell the primary, the active stall groups that get half ownership of the restaurant to figure out who else they're going to run it with, and it's going to have to be somebody that had a stall before. How does that sound? It would be better for the RP, that's what I'm thinking. It would be a favoritism co-ownership, yes. Yeah, I guess it would be good RP. My initial intention is I want there to not be drama between the co-owners necessarily. I want them to figure it out together, and I'd rather want there to be funny, and I emphasis funny, food wars between the restaurants, like sabotaging shit like that. Something that's funny, not blasting up the other shop type that war. Because I think when we get to the point of shooting each other up, we're actually having an actual war, and I think at that point the government would just take restaurants and give it to somebody else. Make them green zones. I don't know about that one. Realistically, it's going to be a popular spot to kidnap people. It would be funny to add a bunch of mechanics where other stalls can actually sabotage you and like prevent you from selling food for a couple minutes or something. Or there's like a cooldown to it, so you can't just repeatedly do it. Yeah, shutting off the electricity, flood the toilets, yeah. Corrected driver for intercoms, that's good too. So, we have Koi down here. We have Up and Adam up here. And then we have Hornies right here. I think it's a good, like, distance in between each other. Koi is a little bit out of the way. But technically, the apartments are like right here. So it's really not far from the apartments themselves. Yeah, then you have Senior Buns in the center, which is going to be used for, I guess, other stuff. Corey got the casino nearby, that's also good, yes. And each of these restaurants will have to find a partner. And one of the partner has to be somebody else that ran a stall. Yeah, they can figure it out in character, I guess. This could work really well for ADMC, it could work really well for Denzel. Then maybe Hydra runs it with, I don't know who else. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I know Jordan has a stall, but for simplicity's stakes, for evenness, I'm just gonna have it be Raccoon or Jasper, I guess, and be even 50-50 with somebody else. Because if we start with the thing where somebody's 66 and the other's 33, it'll just get messy. And I don't want to start it being messy. Yes, Jordan isn't going to be an option for Jasper or Raccoon, is what I'm saying. And, like, personally, I'd like to encourage each of these groups to maybe partner up with somebody that isn't just an easy partner. If there's, like, a little bit of drama, but not like crazy drama, like roleplay drama, between the co-owners, it would be great. Realistically, everybody's gonna pick the easy partner, whatever that is for the respective group. But maybe one or two groups would pick somebody that kind of challenges them a bit too. I don't believe we have an interior for Clock and Bell now. Yeah, and I mean Hades is save a Lucky Plucker. The only thing we have for Lucky Plucker is, I guess, Maldini's, which eventually got moved there, right? But it's also just kind of, I don't know. But I also don't believe we have an interior for it, so. Maldini's is still a thing, but I don't want to add more than 3 restaurants. Because that just defeats the purpose. Then we're splitting up people too much. I think Up and Adam is just fine, location-wise. Because previously we had the Rooster's Rest, right? And it's literally like next door. And the Rooster's Rest ran just fine. Plus, it like really isn't that far away from groups like Besties and something. Cauldron covers up north, yes. I assume they'll probably make a deal with KC at Koi or something. I don't want to add a restaurant up north because the Cauldron is there and it's bringing good RP. It's making people go there. And if I add a restaurant up north, it'll immediately kill the Cauldron. And that's not the intention. So the Cauldron will run as a restaurant and they can partner up with one of the real restaurants to get food. And for people that didn't see it, this is where the Koi is. And it looks really, really cool. It's not in the server yet, but it'll be there soon. Yeah, I mean, KC can make the deal with Denzel. If Denzel is really interested in this place, then Denzel can figure it out with KC. And I think this way it's fair. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Denzel is like, obviously he's with the Manor, but from what I know, the people he actually employs at the stall are mostly civs or unrelated to the Manor. So I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue, really. The most excited about this thing is honestly what I'm going to do with singing events if I do a taco shop type business out of it. And I guess on paper, I will open the door to there not just being 2 managers. There could be a 3rd manager if you want to bring another person on board from that runs another stall. After all, it'll just be the fact that each will then have a 1/3 of the shares, a 1/3 of the power, I guess. But they can figure that out in character. I think that's kind of what I had in mind then for restaurants, so I assume somebody's probably going to write a summary of what I said, of what's happening. Swizz, didn't you plan on streaming 200 hours this month? How's that going for you?